Hi, guys. Welcome. Welcome to meditation today. We're going to have a lovely meditation, I have a feeling. So, whatever you're doing, if you need to close the door, get a glass of water, stretch a little, whatever you need to do to take a minute just to get into your own zone. And as you do that, I just want to enjoy a minute of welcoming each other here. So, I'm gonna, if you can have your camera on just for a couple minutes, so you can be seen and welcomed. So good to see you, Sue, Katie, Ruth, Joan, Felicia, Garrett, Moses, Lavana, Gudzai, Sherry, Michelle, Rosemary, Sandra, Elizabeth. Tish, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna Hi kids with Zara. Hi Zara. Welcome. Hi Sergey. Hi Nicola. Hi Erica. Hi Carmen. Okay, so good to be here with you guys. So I have a new friend here too. Do you guys see my new friend right over here? Um, Mark flew from the Bay Area yesterday with this beautiful crystal that belongs to his mom gave to us. So huge gratitude to my mother-in-law Marie for giving us this beautiful rock. And wow, the energy off of it is so big that I've been a little dizzy this morning sitting next to it. So yeah, so today I wanted to just touch on with you for a moment the idea of burnout or stress to the system could be from being in relationship with people who are difficult for us. It could be um, a work situation, a physical situation. It could be our compassion witnessing things happening to people we don't know in the world just because we're so interconnected. So many reasons, right? Many of you are coaches or meditation guides or helpers in some way. Maybe you're a parent, and I want to give you some tools, not only for you, but for the people that you take care of too, or that you help. So, one of the ways that I think we can do this in meditation is, of course, and I know you guys know this already, but the breath is a wonderful tool to help us. Our, our, through meditation, let's say, one of the things we're doing is we're creating a landscape within ourselves that allows for anything that has, because of stress, because of overwhelm, because of narcissistic abuse, perhaps gaslighting, manipulation, because of a physical ailment or environmental situation, so many reasons. It could be experienced like it's hard to find a safe resting place within us. So I'm not saying that for everyone that's what it is, but one of the things that can happen, and many different traditions talk about this, is that a person who's having a lot of stress will feel like they're not in sync with their own timing. They don't feel like time is really working for them. Like it just, and it's funny because when I was a child, I don't think I was an exceptionally stressed out child. Maybe I was, but I remember having these mornings where everything felt so fast and like I was literally in another timing than time. And it's funny because I mean, gone through a lot more stress as an adult, and that experience has never been quite as strong as when I was a kid. I'm not sure why. But has there been ever in your life a kind of sense of not being quite aligned with your own timing or with time in general? It could be with flow of some kind. I just bring that up to notice that because that is something that's pretty subtle, but that might be noticed by people you help or by yourself. And so when we create this inner landscape that is really safe, really grounded, really welcoming, smooth, in flow with ourselves, we're basically creating our own inner experience that allows whatever is more rough in us, overwhelmed, exhausted, depleted, hypervigilant, like ready to fight, ready to protect us, it's allowed to come in and settle. And we're going to do that today in meditation, actually, with the metaphor of making a garden. So we're going to make our own beautiful garden. Your garden can be any kind of garden you want it to be. And just a few of the little notes I have. And I didn't know, by the way, that we were going to create a garden until 3 minutes before meditation. I've been sitting here meditating, thinking, what will meditation be like today? So we're going to breathe. We're going to ground our energy. We're going to set intentions. Then we're going to create our garden, planting it. There might be animal helpers, elements there, and we're going to watch it grow. We're going to relax in it. And I don't know, it's up to you. You might invite others into your garden. You might not. You might pick some beautiful flowers in your garden and bring them inside your house. You might not. You might take a nap. I don't know how it's going to be for you, but we're going to find out. And um let's just start. So letting yourself be comfortable in your seat, whatever that means, whether you're lying down, you can lie on the floor if you want. Sitting up, standing up if you tend to fall asleep and you want to do a standing meditation, dancing, stretching, whatever works for you. So to begin, let's just all notice ourself. What's it like to just say hello inside and notice how you're doing? And see what it's like to notice how you're doing in a very exact way. Like, oh, my attention is going to my throat. I feel a little up. I feel a little low. I feel a little wide. I feel like a jigsaw puzzle, just whatever comes to you. Can you take a weather report of your internal state? And as you do this with maybe an extra dose of kindness towards yourself. So, what's it like to ask how you are now with a lot of kindness? And just noticing if that changes the weather slightly as you allow this inner kindness to ask you the question, how are you? And this is so real and intimate because it's you asking yourself. And there's nothing about it that has to be a certain way. It's just allowing the moment to be real, appreciated, accepted. And let's just knowing that however we are is a perfect way to be for this meditation. There's no need to be different than we are. However we are is just right for a meditation practice like this, where we really lean into our own acceptance, our own kindness. And just as we lean into kindness as a pillar, let's also ground our energy, sending our attention down into our seat, feeling where your legs, your hips, your sits bone touch the surface under you. And if you want, you can do this as you breathe in and breathe out, or you can just imagine that you have a beautiful, strong, energetic line that goes from deep within you down into Mother Earth. Imagine like if you can imagine it your own way. You might imagine it like a big light, kind of wide I think of it as wide and round, very glowing light that goes down from the body into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth's light comes up into our body. And just allowing in your own way to feel that light in your system. You're using your imagination. You don't have to see anything. You can know it, feel it, and just sensing that grounding light, noticing where and how you sense it today. It might be different than other days. And with your breath, just breathing in and breathing out. With your exhale, letting your energy go lower down, connecting with Earth's energy. And with your in breath, inviting Earth's energy up into your body, into your heart space. You might smile naturally. Your shoulders might smile. Your hands might smile. Your toes, your knees. I say smile, but what I mean is there might be a gentle shift that's just like a relaxing or a softening, an opening. Just noticing if you can sense that little shift as you breathe and invite the energy of earth into yourself. And as you exhale, letting your own energy relax and go lower down, widening out like a beautiful root system that nurtures a gorgeous large tree. You're like a large tree, and you have an incredible root system that's there for you whenever you want to just bring yourself into that knowing. And now let's just enjoy our breath for a couple minutes, just a couple minutes of enjoying every inhale and every exhale, whatever they're like. Just noticing if your inhale is short or medium or long. Noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. Noticing if there's a way you want to exhale through your mouth or your nose, lips together, whatever you wish with each breath, just allowing yourself to make that choice and to enjoy each breath in your own way. It doesn't have to be any different than it naturally is. And as you breathe, you might want your hands to move with your breath as though you were a conductor of a beautiful orchestra. The orchestra is you. You might notice that your attention is only softly on your breath, and instead you're feeling energy breathing, which is just the sense of flow. The breath is there, but sometimes we feel the energy breathing more than the physical breath. And this is perfect. You might feel the need to guide yourself to deeper breathing, and that's perfect too. So, just noticing now how probably you've already shifted a little bit into a smoother sense of sensing. Things may have slowed down, or there might be thoughts or feelings that are there asking for attention. And that's good too. So just let those thoughts or feelings or sensations know that you've noted them. They're fine. They can be there. As we meditate, our thoughts can think because that's what our mind does, and that's okay. Just like our breath, our lungs will breathe and we allow that. Feelings will come and go and we allow that. We might even have visualizations that come and go, and that's also perfect. So as we apply this allowing to our moment by moment experience, nothing has to be there in a very concrete way. It just comes and it leaves in its own timing. And unlike unlike when we're not meditating, in meditation, we just let it all come and go without needing to control it. So let's begin to just feel into a sense of a garden. Now, this is a garden that you're either going to create from scratch, or it's a garden you already know and love. So just feeling into the sense of the time of day that you're entering into this garden space, the temperature, the quality of the air. Are there some animals or birds, or I guess birds are animals? Are there sounds, water, wind? Is the sun high or low? Can you sense a smell in the air? Maybe you smell earth. And just knowing that your garden is going to develop in the perfect timing. Let yourself imagine first what your intention is for this garden. Are you going to grow food in the garden? Are you going to grow beauty, flowers, bushes, trees? Is it going to be a fairy garden for fairies and mystical beings to come play in? Or perhaps a bunny garden where bunnies will come nibble the food? Or both? Or is it a Zen garden? What is your garden like? And just holding that sense of what you'd like it to be, taking your time, being with yourself as this imagining happens. You don't have to see it. Instead, you might feel it or sense it or hear it. It can be a really simple message, like my garden is going to have, and then you finish that thought. My garden is going to have. And with an inner knowing of the purpose and the beauty and the generosity of your garden, the relaxation of every step of building it, notice how you can feel about your garden as a place of safety, growth, abundance. Maybe it's a sleepy garden with lots of places to take naps. And let's start to fill out our garden. We might imagine bringing in special dirt, but this dirt has no weight to it. It's so easy to create this garden in ourself. There's no heavy lifting, there's no bending. It's just We intend it, and there it is. Oh, beautiful garden beds. Oh, and maybe there's some mystical helpers there. Maybe they're people or animals or other beings that are there to help us with this garden. And just notice the magic that gets added to your garden. And this is in wishes you make for your garden. So try setting some wishes for your garden, whatever you're growing in it. These wishes might start with, may my garden have. And just give your garden any qualities through your words, through your feelings, through your knowing. And your breath is still here as you allow your spirit, your body, all your channels of knowing and communicating to be here in the creation of this inner garden. And if it's hard in any way to make choices about your garden, let things just arise, like my garden will have the color blue. There'll be water somewhere. And see what it's like just to sit, perhaps right in the center of your garden, and experience the garden coming into being all around you with no effort. You're resting, relaxed, and the garden is manifesting around you. You turn, perhaps, to smell or to look. Perhaps a cat wanders in or a bunny and you welcome them, a butterfly. And take in and appreciate the feeling of being in this space of life. Somewhere in your garden, see if there's a shape you would like to create. Maybe it's a spiral, a circle, an egg shape. Maybe it's another shape. Notice the shapes that you put in your garden. And just as you're noticing these shapes in your mind's eye or in your feelings about your garden, see if you can feel these same shapes that come to you as helpers. See if you can feel them in your own body as well. This could be a spiral, it could be around you, it could be in you, could be the infinity sign, a diamond. And let's make one special spot in our garden that's just for us to sit and meditate. Will it be high or low? Like sitting on the ground or up on a bench or up in a treehouse? And just feeling yourself there meditating as you sit now in your room and space meditating. And for just a couple minutes in silence, let your own inner being, let your garden, let it nurture you. Silence is here to nurture us as well. And in this quiet, you might pick up on sounds that are inside you or sounds that are outside. And just notice how the sounds show up and how the sounds get lighter. Notice how you can go into your inner silence, even if there's sounds in the space around you. And let's bring in some light, light that makes our garden grow. Light can be a lot like a feeling of hope. So, what's it like to bring a beam of light right into ourself? Where do you place that beam of light? And what messages does it have for you? Are there feelings? Are there healings or images or words? We might just say, I bring a beam of light. I bring a beam of hope into my being. And then we might just start to feel a place inside that has this light, this hope. It might be large, it might be very, very small. But as light does, it fills the space. So just allowing that light to fill your space, whether it's your garden or your body or your thoughts, just allowing that light to nurture you. And it's just like an easy resting moment where the sun warms your skin. But this sun is felt from inside out as well as outside in. And if you want, take a little time to feel it in your lower body. And you might bring your breath there. So as you breathe and invite the sun to warm your lower body, you may feel it in your knees and feet, your legs, your hips. And as you breathe, you might connect with your belly, your back, the trunk of your body, allowing that hope of light to just be there like a warm, glowing sun, gentle, present, nurturing. And then moving up through the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the neck, the upper back. You might want to lift your shoulders up and down a little and letting that sun nurture your jaw, your throat, your face, your ears, the back of your head, your heart space. And taking a moment to appreciate the third eye area and moving back deeper into your brain, right to the spot between the ears, and just resting there, allowing your mind, your body, your spirit to receive nurturing light. hope, whatever that is for you. And now, just like a shower of little lights, lift your hands up over your head and let your fingers kind of wiggle. And just imagine as if there were thousands of little sparkly, beautiful, nurturing, loving light balls going all around you, surrounding you as though you were in a wonderful egg shape of energy, filled with this sparkling, glittering, loving warmth all the way around, in front, to your sides, behind you, below you, just like you're in your own egg. And this egg is like a very special filter, only letting the good in. But it's a magical filter where you can breathe out anything that no longer serves you. So we'll just take a minute to allow ourselves to breathe in our eggs, releasing anything that is wanting to be let go of, and bringing in through this magical filter any elements, thoughts, values, wishes that want to come in, like love or hope or curiosity, kindness. And our egg does all the work. And we just allow our bodies to relax and fill, release with every exhale anything that you wish. That you might want to flick your fingers a little or twist gently. Sigh, and then just allow that filling up a little more. Sometimes we let go of something and then there's room to fill up a little more. And you can just know this egg is there without any form of seeing it, just feeling this energy around you that is so loving and kind and radiant. And all this has been going on while you created your garden. So now take a moment to imagine your garden again. Look around. Has it changed a little? Are the colors brighter? Are there any new qualities? A new waterfall, a koi pond, a special flower or vegetable growing, a tree, animal friends, angels? What's here now in your garden? Just appreciate it. Whatever comes to you, just like a child making a story. Let yourself enjoy and be. And if there's anything in this magical garden you know is meant to be brought with you into your day to day life, imagine how you'll bring it. Maybe it's a song or an image, a sensing. You decide and you can state it. Like, I bring the flow of the water, the crisp, the tingliness of that waterfall right into my day to day life, right when I wake up in the morning, or whatever comes to you. A smell. Maybe you've tasted some of the wonderful food you've grown and you bring that into your day to day, or it's a feeling. And when you're ready, taking a moment just to touch the heart. Maybe you give yourself a hug and you thank yourself. You thank your garden, your helpers, and know that that's within you. And then slowly opening your eyes and coming back to your space. Take a moment to look around your room and notice shapes, colors. Maybe there are sounds you hear, distant sounds, close up sounds. Okay. And if you have some water nearby, you can drink some water. You might want to tap your feet on the ground or tap your legs with your hands, your heart a little. Okay. How was your garden, guys? How did your garden grow? I want to know. I'm going to open the chat. I think there's a children's story like that. And if anyone has a question, a share, I'd love to know, even if you want to type into the chat what you were growing in your garden or the way you sensed your garden. And I'd like to point out too how if we're working with someone else using this kind of process, it's a beautiful metaphor. And what's important is to me, it might not be in all traditions, but to me, what's important is allowing the person in today's group, we were the person, right? Each of us was the person, but really allowing that individual to be in charge of empowering themselves to create that nurturing space. So a little different than some forms of hypnosis where you're giving all the suggestions. So there are suggestions, right? But they're a little open-ended for you or me or the person we're working with to fill in what we need. Hi, Lisa.
Hello
Hi.
there. Yeah,
Hello.
that was lovely. I was thinking more of like weed. I could feel like there was some weeds to pull out there.
Ah, yeah.
Weed
And is
pulling.
not that interesting? I forgot all about weeding a garden. And for you, you needed some weeding there. So how was that for you to weed the garden? Did you do that?
Yeah, that's good. It's like still some weeds to pull out and
Okay.
replant and repot. Yes,
Okay, great. So,
yes.
one thing to maybe consider is what do you do to make it easy to weed the garden? Do you water it first? Do you add air in the soil so the weeds come up really easily? Do you know what I
Um,
mean? Because if we're
yeah,
just trying to pull a weed,
yeah,
sometimes they're really hard to get out. I have this like clay-like earth that I'm not strong enough to pull up a lot of weeds unless I really take care of the texture that the weed's growing in first.
yeah. I think I need to melt them.
Melt them. Oh, I like that. That's really good. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah,
Thank you.
such a good point. Um, and some people are more olfactory. They'll really be with the smells of the garden. Some people, it's really a feeling state. They won't really even imagine a garden, but hearing those words create a certain feeling inside. So there's not one way for these kinds of meditation journeys to live in a person. It's all very individual and unique. But the overall sort of idea here is the empowering and the allowing for each person going through that to experience their own form of nurturing. So I did use some key words. They came very intuitively, naturally. I asked the crystal that doesn't have a name yet to give to the meditation. And I think the words that came through were a lot of nurturing, the sun, the warmth, and that comes from the idea that if we need to restore our energy, if we've gone through a hard time, or for whatever reason we're depleted, we want that giving quality to create that safety so that there can be hope brought in, so there can be new energy. But I'm sure many of you know what it's like to experience something like burnout. You can think you know it in your head logically, but unless you actually experience burnout, you don't really know it. For some people, it becomes a big fog. For some people, there's a lot of guilt and shame around it. For some people, it's just literal physical fatigue to the point that everything else has to cooperate. Some people fight it. Again, it's an individual experience, but not one that we can really know. And I hope if you have never had burnout, I hope you never have it. But if you have, it's kind of cool to be like, oh, I'm not alone. This is a thing that happens. And it happens quite a bit in our world right now. So I've been coming, there's a personal reason why I guided today's meditation. I've actually been feeling a lot better physically. I finally found uh I've tried 5 different naturopaths, and I finally found one that had a lot of skill in helping me with supplements and things that suddenly I'm having a lot more energy. And what's interesting is in having that more energy and feeling better, I'm realizing how burned out I've been. Isn't that weird? So in that in that process of healing, I'm realizing how much I want to help people in this area, whether it's emotional burnout. And I think that is something that in my community, with a lot of people who are highly empathic, really kind and loving, doing and processing a lot of other people's emotions, there's a specific kind of burnout. And also, more and more people I meet have dealt with mold toxicity or something else causing that, also at a physical level. And when it comes down to it, if I have to pick just one way to support people, it's always going to be meditation. So I'm just going to keep leaning into that truth for myself. So you'll be getting a lot more meditations added to the YouTube channel. I'm, hoping to do that without burning myself out also. Okay, let's hear from you guys. Serge, how are you? Serge. I never know if there's an
That's
A at the
great.
end of that or not.
I just love how you always say it because it's so unique to
Like it's
you.
the first time. I always say it like it's the first time.
I recognize your voice when you say it, that's for sure. Every time. Thank you so much. I love being in this sacred space with you. It's really more than amazing. It's beyond this world and beyond words as well. And I feel like, as I told you, like the preciousness of words every time makes it so valuable and even invaluable, when the
Hmm.
mystery of like not valuing a space where words are sacred, coming from the heart. And I just want to hone in back on what we have experienced today because I'm so grateful for today, the image of the garden, because, I once again trusted you so much on that journey because one of my favorite living mentors, Robin Sharma, also uses the garden in one of his meditation as like a really secret space in between mountains, like really hidden from the world. It's yours. And you're at the center of that garden.
Yeah.
So I am given that gift, and I always like am grateful to share that with you. But it's not granted either. It's not like a
Hmm.
space that we find anywhere, anytime. We have to create it. We have to initiate it, and that's been the theme of the recurring theme of the message in the past 2 3 weeks. It's like initiate, be intentional about what you want, as like you have to be co-creating it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
doesn't just come by itself just because, even if it wants to manifest itself, it longs to manifest itself, but it needs a collaborator. You have to say yes to receiving to in order to witness yourself. One of the other recurring themes for me today was witnessing, because
Mm.
I this is what I want to really truly honor you for today, because you are such a precious witness to everything that you outpour from that light, and you bring us to do the theme, right? Like, if I'm not speaking out of just sheer projection, I'm witnessing by experiencing what you provide us with as a space. So I love that, and I love to say that we are called to do the same, right? We are called to also be that grounded, safe space for others, people calling us, people wanting us to be there for them.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest disservices that our mentors remind us about is like, it's not what you're not doing for yourself, it's what you're not being for others right now as they need you right now. That's the
Mm.
biggest tragedy and plight of the human race, unexpressed potential. But
Mm.
the world is so like dysregulated that this is not to be taken for granted, such a sacred, safe space that we initiate and we create. We're being intentional. And I never take you for granted, Magali. I never take this experience for granted. This is a
Oh,
privilege.
thank you. Oh, thank you. And thank you for your amazing words and experience and the tree behind you. Did you meditate outside today?
I did. I walked in
Yeah.
a rock. I actually live in some
Wow.
sort of a monastery next to a church. So it's like
How
I'm
gorgeous.
actually, yeah, in the garden right now. Looks like
I
a garden
love
outside.
that. Oh, thank you. And thank you for your energy here too. Yeah,
Thank you.
what a
Thank
wonderful
you.
group. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us access
Yeah.
to your heart and our own.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else have a share? Salma, hi. How are you? Oh, I don't hear you yet. Let's see. Are you able to unmute? Mm. I hit ask to unmute. Let's see if that worked. We don't hear you. It might be because of the headset being plugged in a certain way.
I'm in a
Oh, there you
customer.
are. Perfect.
All right. So I just I didn't attend to the session from the beginning. It was only like at the end. I just wanted to pop in and say hi, and actually the message that Serge shared, he articulated it better than I
Oh.
could. And I've been here like in this space and this group for about a year ago.
Mhm.
And each time I say I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna resume the healing, I'm gonna resume the journey. And then it didn't happen until now. And I just, even though I didn't do the entire meditation, I just wanted to say thank you, Magali, because you still do this, even though with the challenges that life can bring to us all,
Yeah.
especially the health problems.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're here. So we all welcome you and support you. And how about everybody honor themselves for a moment? I know I have groups I want to show up for. I have things online that I want to prioritize that I don't always do. And it takes a lot. Each of us showed up, not just me, we each showed up. I was going to say, even this beautiful crystal showed up. We all show up. I do. I feel like there's a being next to me right now today. So, we all show up when it's the right time. And it takes a certain, you know, quality in us to do that, to grow. And fortunately, like for me, I absolutely love doing this. I love this so much. So it's always nurturing in a sense, but then there's also energy that kind of follows a meditation. And I don't know if that happens for any of you guys. Do you need to take a little time after to unwind in some way or walk or have a cup of tea? What do you do? And like in Harry Potter, they eat chocolate.
Mm.
Is there anything you do that that helps you a little bit extra after you meditate? If anyone wants to share in the chat. And all right, so I'll tell you guys one ritual I have after every meditation. I stand in the middle of my room and I allow myself to just tone whatever sounds come out and imagine grounding my energy, or I do ground my energy and connecting with the universe. So that's like one ritual I have. It's great to have these rituals for also when we're leaving a practice and re-entering our day-to-day life, or a session. If you're guiding a meditation or you're working with a client, having these transitions, sort of little mini soul ceremonies that you do. For some people that's easy, for some people it's hard. Like for me, really easy to show up and teach or guide meditation, really hard for me to remember to do those little ceremonies. So I have to kind of really prioritize that. Many people teach, and I guess I teach this too, even though I don't like to teach things I don't necessarily do so well. So I'm going to admit I don't do this so well, but it's a really good idea every day to take a little time to clear your energy before going to sleep or at any time, and a little time to receive, you could say, energy or blessings or connections. So those two practices, even just 1 minute clearing, you can use your hands or your thoughts, and 1 minute receiving. Two really good little ceremonies that I intend to do every day. And it's a really good idea, especially if you're working with people, especially if you've had any kind of burnout, especially if you have any of those very special teachers in your life who suffer with a narcissistic personality type, or who are very antagonistic, or you have a high drama workplace, or you have a wonderful person in your life who just takes a lot from you in some way in your care. All of those reasons are little extra reasons to do that clearing and do that receiving. Okay, and Moses and Rosemary, yay. If I keep chatting, you guys will raise your hands. So I just love that. Okay, Moses, hi.
Okay, I'm unmuted, I think.
You are.
Yeah, thank you for uh, the meditation today. And I can totally identify with it. And the last piece that you shared about uh, something to do after meditation, boy, that was really good, because what I do is just move to the next task. And
Ah.
oh my goodness, and some of what I've been doing for the last couple of months is slowing down after stopping my depression medication. Now, I can't tell you what prompted me to do that, but boy, did I pay for it. Oh my
Wow.
goodness. And kind of back on track now, and hoping to be more involved with you guys. Try it again.
Oh, I love having you here. And I know you lead groups and you help so many people, Moses. So yeah, always reach out to me, personally as well, whenever you need a little support. I'm
I
here
I
for you.
do.
Okay.
I need support, and I will do that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's set a
Yeah.
time to chat soon, okay?
Say hi to Mark,
Okay.
please.
All right, I will. And yes, please reach out to me like today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Be well. Moses is not only a wonderful member of our group, but he's also a student and So that's why I'm encouraging to reach out at that personal level too. Rosemary, hi.
Hi, I couldn't be from the beginning. Yeah, my name is Rosemary. I live in Germany
Oh,
and I'm from
wonderful.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So what I got out of today's meditation, before I want to say thank you for everything that you do. I cannot always connect, but when I do, it's always a pleasure and it's always worth to do so. And I also want to thank the participants because I also learn from them as well.
Yeah.
So when I was in the garden, I felt that the garden was alive. I felt being very present. I felt its energy. And at the same time, a very cute, small animal came and was inviting me to follow. And
Wow.
while you were talking and you were saying something like, just let go and go with the flow, even though those were not your words, but that's how I interpret it. Then I said, okay, I will let myself go. So I started letting myself go. And the next thing I knew, this little cute animal was taking me out of the garden.
Wow. I love
Give
that.
me a second. Ein Moment bitte, ich kann nicht sprechen. Ein Moment, ja?
Yeah.
Okay. Ja, bis gleich.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, no worries, no worries. Oh, I'm
And
so glad that where did the animal take you?
at first I was skeptic. I'm sorry, that's a German word. No, that's an English word, oder?
You
I was
were
skeptical. I was
skeptical.
skeptical.
Okay, got
I'm
it. Got
sorry.
it. Yeah.
I was skeptical, but I was like, let me trust. So I was trusting, but there was a part of me that was not trusting. But nevertheless, I follow it because it was so cute, and then the garden was kind of like disappearing, and then he was running, so I was running after it. And then I noticed, no, 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 wait a minute, this is not where I want to go. And I said, no, this is not what I want. I want to go back to the garden. So I left and I walked back to the garden. And what I took out of that is that life sometimes pulls you in different directions.
Yeah.
And due to responsibilities, maybe lack of energy or whatever, sometimes we could let ourselves go, but we need to prioritize because I was pretty happy in the garden. So
Yeah.
even you're being pulled away, we need to recenter ourselves and be more wise with ourselves and our intentions with what we really want.
So
I f-
wise. Yes, I love that all of this happened within the space of your own process, you know?
yeah. So
Yeah.
what I got out
Yeah.
of this is being more aware of myself and what I want and what I need. Because
Yeah.
like I said, everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody. I started meditating, changing the subject. You ask, what do we do after meditation? So after meditation, I have like a bridge, which brings me back to the real world to say. What I tend to do is I hug myself. I
Hmm.
hug my whole body and I rub myself with my hands, with my fingers, and it's like sparkle of love to say. It's like
Oh,
I just rub all this light, all these little fireworks of love all around my head, my feet, everywhere where I can touch, I just rub my whole body.
that's wonderful. That is so great. Oh, well, you've just helped so many people probably who will try that in their own way, right? Yeah, that is great. Let's all give ourselves a hug. Yeah, we have to follow your guidance there, Rosemary. That was great.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and you know, it's kind of sweet. It's very sweet that we end with your share and your name is Rosemary. Like, you know, I have a beautiful rosemary plant. I'll have to show you one day. Um, so do you ever feel anything special about your name? Maybe you're gone there. Oh, you're not. You're no longer alive. I'm so curious. Like, okay, I love certain kinds of names, and our daughter's middle name is Sage, and yeah, so you can see I like those kinds of names, herb names. Okay. I'm so glad that we were together today, and I hope that you can come back to meditate soon and to your own garden in your own way. Maybe that's in a dream tonight, or maybe that's in tomorrow's meditation. Okay, be well, everybody. Talk soon. Bye.